Something I think might be very helpful to people, right? I'm writing in my book, it's in my book that'll be out next month, and I'm sorry, February. I talk about the doting mother. My sister told me last year, right, that my mother doted on me, and I looked it up, and she did. I never got held accountable by my mother, right? Wasn't spanked that much, got to do what I wanted to do, and so from kindergarten up until 11 years old, pretty much did what I wanted to do. So that kind of like formulated how I saw the way women are supposed to treat me. Let me do what I want to do. And that just fed into my narcissistic personality disorder, right? And then when my parents got divorced, I feel like my mom discarded me. So I was always searching for a mother for the rest of my life. And all of my ex-girlfriends, my ex-wife, their mothers, I loved them. I wanted to be around them. I wanted them to cook for me. I wanted them to talk to me. I wanted them to help me because my mom was gone and doing her thing and on drugs. So I wanted a mother. I wanted nurturing. But I didn't want you to nurture me too much, right? Because it would trigger me to make me think about what I didn't get from my mother. So I wanted you to be a mother, in a sense. I wanted your mother to be a mother, but then I didn't want you to be too much of a mother, if that makes sense. It was going to be weird to the women that I dated because they didn't never understand it, because I was afraid to talk to them about what happened with my mother, me and my mother. I didn't want to tell them my mother was on drugs, but I didn't want them to look at me like, oh, you on drugs too, Leon? Although I was in the military, I still had this addictive personality, right? So I wanted you to nurture me. I wanted you to not hold me accountable because my mother didn't hold me accountable. And I wanted you to be my woman or my wife, right? It's going to be very confusing when you meet a man like me, an overt narcissist. I don't know if the covert or malignant or antagonistical narcissists are like this. I don't know. But I was. And so I had my mother from kindergarten to 6th grade, and then she was gone, and then we got her back. Then she didn't show up for court when my dad took us to court to see who was going to get custody. He got custody. She didn't show up to court. She didn't show up to my high school graduation. So I was always fearful. I was always upset with my mom. And then I always wanted that nurturing from other women. I wanted that mother figure from other women. I wanted them to dote on me and let me get away with anything and not challenge me and not question me and not call me out. And so it was very confusing for the women. And they was like, Leon, what is going on with you? And I never talked about my mother. I didn't talk about my mother until I went to therapy. When I went into therapy at 46 years old, I was still upset with my mother till my therapist taught me how to let go of my anger with my mother. But before that, the women called hell. I'm like, you ain't my mother. You can't tell me what to do. I don't got to listen to you. I don't have to listen to you. Who the hell you think you are? My mother didn't say that to me. My mother didn't do that to me. So what makes you think you can do it? Blah, 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 But at the same time, I want them to hold me. I want them to hug me. But at the same time, I was pushing them away. I didn't want them to love me. I didn't want them to get too close to me. And it was like, I don't want you to hold me. I want you to hold me. I want you to hold my hand. I want you to cover me. I want you to protect me. You protect me too much. You know too much. You're too much for me. You're taking too good care of me. And so the empaths that dealt with me called hell, because they're like, Leon, you confuse me. Do you want me to be with you or not? I'm like, yeah, I don't want you to leave me. Leave me. Get the hell away. I don't give a no. I don't need you. I don't need to talk to you. I don't need nothing you got. My mother didn't do this. My mother left me, so you're going to leave me anyway. Blah, 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 right? I did this for years. And I can imagine how draining it was for those women that liked me or tried to love me. I was very unlovable. I would push women away. So that's avoidance issues, escapism, emotionally detached, discarded by your mom, want your mother's nurturing as a grown man. That's why I call them mama's boys, whatever. Be careful with your man if you don't call him a mama's boy, because he's struggling like I struggle, until I went through therapy. And that's when it all broke loose for me, came out. And, I want you to nurture me. I don't want you to nurture me, right? I want to be held accountable, but I don't want to be held accountable because my mother didn't hold me accountable, right? I want you to cook and clean and talk to me and make sure I get up in the morning. I want you to do these motherly things because sometimes I'm a little boy and I want that mother in you to come out of you so that I can be closer to you as a mother figure, or your mother to be my mother figure because my mother's gone. That's confusing. It's like I was all over the place. But don't think the worst thing you can say, ladies, oh, you're a grown-ass man. You should know better, blah, 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 blah. But you're dealing with a man that had emotions and didn't know how to deal with them, right? And let me tell you this. When I post videos like this, I'm not upset at anyone. There's nothing that happened to me yesterday or for Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. I just get very passionate about what I have in me and how I can help people. So don't think that I'm mad. A few people say, Leon, your last video seemed like you were really pissed off. I'm never pissed off at y'all. No. I'm not pissed off at myself, my past, But yeah, the doting mother, read about it. And that's what happened to me. My sister told me that. She's a social worker, not practicing, but she got a degree in social work. She told me that. And I looked it up. My mother doted on me, and then I wanted all the women to dote on me too, right? So just because your man is a grown man, don't think that he's grown in his emotions. I was 46 years old. I was 35 years old. I was 25 years old. But emotionally, I was probably like 10 years old. All right, y'all have a great day.